In 2025, after centuries of speculation and decades of cautious restraint, archaeologists finally breached the long-sealed tomb of Qin Shi Huang, China's first emperor. What they uncovered beneath the ancient earth near Xi'an was not merely a historical treasure but a chilling enigma that defied both science and imagination. Hidden behind layers of lethal traps, rivers of toxic mercury, and an eerie silence that had persisted for over 2,200 years, the tomb revealed secrets far darker than anyone had anticipated. What began as a monumental archaeological breakthrough quickly spiraled into a nightmare, raising haunting questions. Why was this tomb so meticulously sealed? And what, exactly, did humanity unleash by opening it? This is the story of Qin Shi Huang's tomb, the man who built it, and the terrifying truths buried within. The story begins not in 2025, but in 1974, when farmers digging a well near Xi'an in Shaanxi province stumbled upon an extraordinary find. Their shovels struck not rock or soil, but fragments of molded clay, eerily lifelike and intricately crafted. What they uncovered was the edge of one of the greatest archaeological discoveries in history, the Terracotta Army. Thousands of life-size soldiers, horses, chariots, and officials, each sculpted with haunting precision, stood in silent formation beneath the earth. This was no mere collection of statues. It was a meticulously designed army, frozen in time, guarding something far greater, the unopened tomb of Qin Shi Huang. The Terracotta Army, discovered in pits surrounding the emperor's mausoleum, consists of over 8,000 figures, each unique in facial expression, posture, and attire. Archers, infantrymen, cavalry, and even entertainers were crafted with such detail that historians believe they may have been modeled after real individuals. The figures were arranged in battle formations, complete with functional bronze weapons, suggesting a purpose beyond mere decoration. They were protectors, standing sentinel over the emperor's final resting place, a subterranean empire designed to mirror his earthly dominion. The discovery sent shockwaves through the archaeological world, but it also deepened the mystery of the tomb itself. Located beneath a massive earthen mound near Mount Li, the mausoleum remains sealed, its contents protected by both physical and cultural barriers. Ancient texts, particularly the records of the grand historian by Sima Qian, written a century after Qin Shi Huang's death, described the tomb as a marvel of engineering and danger. Rivers of mercury were said to flow within, mimicking the Yangtze and Yellow rivers, while deadly traps, crossbows rigged to fire at intruders, guarded its secrets. For decades, fear of these dangers, coupled with respect for the site's historical significance, kept the tomb untouched. But in 2025, advances in technology and an insatiable curiosity finally led scientists to open the chamber, revealing a truth far more unsettling than anyone had imagined. To understand the tomb's significance, we must first understand the man who commissioned it. Qin Shi Huang, born Yingzheng in 259 BCE, was a figure of unparalleled ambition and complexity. Crowned king of Qin at age 13, he rose from a childhood marked by chaos to become the architect of China's first unified empire by 221 BCE. His reign was a paradox of visionary reform and ruthless control, and his obsession with immortality shaped both his life and his legacy. Yingzheng's early life was anything but stable. Born in Handan, the capital of the rival Zhao state, he was the son of Prince Iran, a Qin royal held hostage to ensure peace between warring states. His mother, Lady Zhao, was a concubine, and his father's return to Qin was orchestrated by Lu Buwei, a cunning merchant with political ambitions. Lu's machinations placed Iran on the Qin throne, and Yingzheng was born shortly after. Rumors persisted that Lu Buwei, not Iran, was Yingzheng's true father, a claim that, while unproven, added intrigue to his origins. At 13, Yingzheng inherited the Qin throne following his father's sudden death, but power was far from his grasp. Lu Buwei, acting as regent, wielded significant influence, while Yingzheng's mother, now the Queen Dowager, entangled the court in scandal. Her affair with Lao Ai, a man smuggled into the palace as a false eunuch, culminated in a treasonous coup attempt. Lao Ai raised an army to overthrow the young king, But Zhang, at just 21, responded with ruthless efficiency. Lao Ai was executed, his mother was stripped of power, and Lu Buwei was forced into exile, later committing suicide. These early betrayals forged Zhang into a leader who trusted few and ruled with an iron hand. By 221 BCE, Zhang had conquered the 6 rival warring states, Han, Zhao, Wei, Chu, Yan and Qi, unifying China under a single banner. Taking the title Qin Shi Huang, meaning First Emperor, he centralized power in ways previously unimaginable. He standardized currency, weights, measures, and even the written script, creating a cohesive administrative system that laid the foundation for modern China. He oversaw the construction of roads, canals, and the early foundations of the Great Wall, ensuring his empire's connectivity and defense. Yet, his achievements came at a cost. His legalist policies, which prioritized state control over individual freedom, were brutally enforced. Dissidents were executed, books were burned to suppress competing ideologies, and forced labor projects claimed countless lives. Qin Shi Huang's obsession with immortality defined much of his later reign. He dispatched expeditions to find the mythical elixir of life, consulted alchemists, and ingested mercury-based potions, ironically hastening his death in 210 BCE at age 49. This fixation on the afterlife drove the creation of his mausoleum, a project as grand and secretive as the man himself. The construction of Qin Shi Huang's tomb began shortly after he ascended the throne and continued for nearly 40 years. Spanning an estimated 56 square kilometers, the mausoleum was a feat of engineering unmatched in the ancient world. According to Sima Qian, over 700,000 workers, craftsmen, artisans, engineers, and laborers were conscripted to build this underground realm. The tomb was designed not as a mere burial site but as a mirror of the emperor's empire, complete with palaces, treasures, and a celestial ceiling adorned with pearls to represent the stars. The most famous feature of the mausoleum complex is the Terracotta Army, discovered in pits surrounding the central tomb. Each figure was crafted with extraordinary detail, from the individualized faces of soldiers to the intricate armor and weaponry. The army was arranged in military formations, suggesting a belief that Qin Shi Huang would need protection in the afterlife. Horses, chariots, and even non-military figures like musicians and acrobats were included, hinting at a vision of an eternal court. The craftsmanship of the Terracotta Army is staggering. Each statue was hand-sculpted, fired in kilns, and painted with vibrant colors, though much of the paint has faded over time. The figure's realism suggests advanced artistic techniques and possibly the use of real human models. Some historians speculate that the army was not just symbolic but a literal guard, intended to protect the emperor from supernatural threats in the afterlife. While the Terracotta Army has been extensively studied, the central tomb, the emperor's final resting place, remained unopened until 2025. Ancient texts describe a chamber filled with wonders and perils. Rivers of mercury, engineered to flow like China's great waterways, were said to course through the tomb, powered by mechanical systems. Crossbows rigged with hair-trigger mechanisms were allegedly set to fire at intruders, and hidden passages concealed additional traps. These accounts, once dismissed as legend, gained credibility in 2020 when soil samples around the tomb revealed dangerously high mercury levels, suggesting that the rivers might indeed exist. The tomb's design reflects Qin Shi Huang's paranoia and his belief in an afterlife where he would rule as he did in life. The sheer scale of the project, combined with its secrecy, fueled rumors of darker measures. Some sources claim that workers who knew the tomb's secrets were executed to prevent leaks, their bodies buried alongside the emperor. While archaeological evidence of such mass executions is scarce, Qin Shi Huang's ruthless reputation makes the theory plausible. For decades, archaeologists hesitated to open the tomb, fearing both physical dangers and the risk of damaging its contents. Past excavations, like the poorly planned digs at Troy in the 19th century, served as cautionary tales of what haste could destroy. Advanced technologies, such as cosmic ray muon scans, were proposed to peer inside without disturbing the site, but progress was slow. China's government, wary of cultural and historical loss, imposed strict controls on excavation efforts. In 2025, a breakthrough in non-invasive imaging and robotics allowed a team of international archaeologists to finally breach the tomb. Using miniature drones and remote sensors, they navigated the outer chambers, avoiding traps and mapping the interior. What they found was beyond comprehension. The central chamber, sealed for over 2 millennia, contained not only treasures, jade artifacts, gold ornaments, and intricate bronzes, but also anomalies that defied explanation. The chamber was indeed laced with mercury, its vapor still potent enough to pose a lethal threat. Robotic sensors detected intricate mechanisms, including what appeared to be spring-loaded crossbows, confirming ancient accounts of traps. But the most disturbing find was a series of sealed compartments containing what appeared to be alchemical devices. Strange, bronze-cast instruments inscribed with symbols that blended Taoist mysticism with proto-scientific designs. Some researchers speculated these were attempts to harness or contain energies unknown to modern science, possibly linked to Qin Shi Huang's pursuit of immortality.